Or, oh my god, like Iowa. Oh man, Iowa folk. Again, if like farmers, I get if you're a farmer, good for you. You got a reason to be there. But if you're like living in Des Moines, you know, and you're like you're an accountant in Des Moines, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Please tell me you have a good reason for being there, and not a good reason like, oh, I went to school in, you know, the Hawkeye State. No. You're not a Hawkeye. You know, you're you're a degenerate. Dude, I just defended. This is like the Alamo, and I'm the one man defending it, dude. Also, what war was the Alamo from? I'm pretty sure it's not from the Mexican-American War. I think it's like the Texan War of Independence. Ain't that the war I was in? Like, man, I'm not really too keen on Alamo history. I don't know. As you can see, I'm not the smartest folk on that. Not that it's too important of history. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe if it wasn't for those 12 brave Texans, Mexico would still have its land. We was fighting Santa Anna. Well, no. That was the Mexican-American War. That's a different war. Turns out the Alamo was not part of the Mexican-American War. I think it was part of a different war. No. I think it's different. Look it up. Give it the good Google, dude. I think Google can answer this question for us once and for all. Because I was watching some video on YouTube, and they explicitly said most Americans aren't too familiar with the Alamo. And ironically, most think it happened because of the Mexican-American War. Well, it's not. And it's like, well, what war was it? That's the only one I know. Texas had this little feud with America, and like, I don't know, Mexico thought it would be a good time to slide in and grab some land back. It might have been that. And they still failed at it, which is very sad. Yeah, it don't matter, exactly, yeah. Nothing big changed as a result of it. A bunch of Americans died, and America still got the land back. Was the Republic of Texas against Santa Anna of Mexico? Yeah, so it's kind of like the Mexican-American War, but like Texas was not part of America at the time. So I think it's like that's how they circumnavigate that little situation. See, we learned something new today on the stream. We knew that the Alamo happened in the Mexican War or the Mexican Revolution, or the Texas Revolution, which I didn't know was a war. I guess the Texas War for Independence, is that the same war that I'm thinking of? I don't know. We don't know. We're too illiterate about Texan history. But at the same time, it's like, do we really care about Texan history? It's fucking Texas, you know? It's like, do people really care about that stuff? That's just mumbo jumbo that people read about, you know, in fairy tale novels. Texas isn't real. Texas is a mythical land of bourbon and cactuses. Is that a good stereotype of Texas? I don't even know. The Republic of Texas. Dude, that would be a wild place to be. You know, how long was Texas independent for? Like 10 years? 15 years? What do you guys think life was like in revolutionary Texas? Riot and hate crimes. Texas is like, how many hate crimes happen in Texas? I feel like most hate crimes, like Texas gets a bad rap for a bunch of the hate crimes. I feel like most hate crimes take place in like the Bible. Well, Texas is part of the Bible Belt, but you know, like the more swampy area. I feel like Texas gets a bad rap for all those states and their delinquencies, you know? I feel like Texas has some good redemptions about it, you know? It's got like Austin, you know, Houston ain't that bad. While, you know, Alabama's really got nothing going for it, let's be honest. You know, even people from Alabama know Alabama's got nothing going for it. But like Texas got some redemption. You know, it's got Santa Ana, you know? San Jose. Well, that's in California, I'm pretty sure. Or is it? I don't know. All that history, all the San Joses, I don't know. They're all the same to me. It could be Texas, could be Southern California, could be New Mexico. All that American territory is the same to me. Where the Apaches lived is all those territories are the same to me. Like what does Arizona have that Nevada doesn't have? Okay, so Nevada has Las Vegas and Arizona has Phoenix, but like Phoenix is like Phoenix. Let's be honest. In terms of cities, it's like a Cleveland. It's like the Cleveland of the Southwest. Like, it's not great, you know. Like, yeah, I'm from Phoenix. Like, you're like, okay, all right, good for you, dude. Like, no one's like no one's saying I'm prideful. Like, there's no pride. There's no Phoenix pride, you know. There's like New York pride. There's like LA pride. There's like Chicago pride, I guess. Sadly, San Francisco, that's a hellhole. San Francisco has pride, but like, you know, who's going around like saying like Cleveland or like Phoenix? Gross, you know. Why would you want to be part of that, you know? and if you're from those places, you know, I'm not gonna apologize. You know where you live. I'm not gonna cater to your ilk. I'm not gonna cater to your Phoenix types. You know you could do better. Everybody living in those cities, like Kansas City, like why? Why do you live there? Why is Kansas City a place? Unless you're a farmer, you have no reason to be in Kansas City. Unless you're like commodity is like I don't know, like you're a big grain guy. Like that's your thing. Like you got a grain silo in like Nebraska. Maybe living in Kansas City has some merit, you know. But if you work in an office and you call Kansas City your home, you gotta move, man. I'm so sorry, but y'all gotta dip. I don't know what you're doing there. Unless there's a bounty on your head, you have no business being in fucking Kansas City, you know? Unless you're wanted for attempted murder in Chicago, you know, Kansas City is not the place. Maybe Kansas City is the place for you. Same with Phoenix, you know? Or, oh my god, like Iowa. Oh man, Iowa folk. Again, if like farmers, I get. If you're a farmer, good for you. You got a reason to be there. But if you're like living in Des Moines, you know, and you're like you're an accountant in Des Moines, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Please tell me you have a good reason for being there, and not a good reason like, oh, I went to school in, you know, the Hawkeye State. No. You're not a Hawkeye. You know, you're you're a degenerate. Oh man, I'm gonna love making this into a YouTube video. I have you know what? I got a lot of material today. I got me myself talking about some great Obi-Wan show material. We got a great history lesson about Texas, and then we have me trashing terrible cities that nobody should be living in. You know, I think this is great. We got some great quality material. Oh my god, I'm sorry if you're from Phoenix, but you gotta move. I'm sorry if you're from Cleveland, but you gotta move. Yeah, I understand if you were like an iron worker, you know, in the 60s, Cleveland may have been the spot. Or if you were like an automotive worker in Detroit, yeah, that was the spot. But what are you still doing in Detroit? What are you still doing in Phoenix? What? Huh? Oh, where do you live? Yeah, I live in Phoenix. Why? That should be everybody's. If you're talking to somebody and they name a city that isn't like, you know, I'm from Kansas City, ask them why. I feel like that would be like, you may get a good life tale. You may be like, well, I didn't want to live here, obviously. It's Kansas City. What the fuck am I going to do here? But I have a bounty of my head, you know. I was in a gang in Chicago. I had to do initiation, killed somebody, you know, and then the Rogers went after me. And now I am forced to move out and live in Kansas City the rest of my days. You know, that is a good story. That is a good reason for living in Kansas City. Or if you're a farmer. Again, if you're a farmer, live there. But if you're an office worker, skedaddle as far as possible. you shouldn't be living there. This is a top life tip from Rokashy, and please write it down if you understand what writing it down means. Oh yeah, man, I live in Des Moines, Iowa. It's a great place. Get the fuck out of here. It's a great place. What do you do there? If anybody from chat lives in Des Moines, Iowa, please let me know. And please, let's hear your traumatic life story. I might make it into a movie. We might sell this to like Warner Brothers as a good script. You know, anything is possible with somebody living in, you know, Des Moines. Yeah, I'm from Cedar Rapids. Excuse me? Yeah, my family moved there in the 1800s, and for some reason we decided to stay here, even though we don't have a farm anymore. Why don't you move? I don't know, I never thought about it. Okay. That's usually probably the story that we get from, and again, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I don't think of you as a lesser person, but at the same time, I do. But yeah, I mean, I just want to hear these traumatic life stories of people living in those towns. Anyway, that was my rant on cities.